Hello and welcome to Michael Kennedy's paraplegic blog. Now, this is actually week 4 and 5 because last week, the week before last, I had some really good uh, achievements in my recovery. But then at the end of the week on Saturday, unfortunately, I had a drawback. I ended up going into the hospital and I had to have my wound debrided. I have a pressure ulcer on the bottom of my bottom, for those of you that don't know. It's basically because I can't get up and stand and step and move around the way I'd like to. So today I'm in a lot of pain, a ton of pain. I don't know if it's phantom pain or pain because when I'm in the hospital, I have to take my oxycodone. I need it every 4 hours. I don't care what anybody says. It takes a while to kick in, and it basically ends before my next dose. So I'm usually in a pain for about a half an hour before I'm able to take my next dose of oxycodone. That's basically how it works. And oxycodone is not the best drug for you. Those of you who are stuck on oxycodone, I'm sorry for you, but hopefully you'll find your way off of that drug. And, I am a big proponent of medical marijuana. I have been since my father was sick. And, medical marijuana was not a thing when my father was sick. He used to have to go down and buy his marijuana from the drug dealer down at the corner. And, he was very upset because towards the end of his life, he was hooked on oxycodone. And there was no way for him to get unhooked. And, then you're dealing with two drugs. You're dealing with oxycodone and probably marijuana. Excuse me. As you can probably tell, I really haven't been sleeping well late at night. In the hospital, it's even worse. I never wish anybody time in the hospital. But, yeah, I don't really necessarily want to talk about drugs on my blog, but I'm talking about pain management is actually what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about recreational drugs. I'm not talking about drugs that are illegal in my state. I recommend that you do the same thing as I do. You go about getting your drugs legally. You get your medical marijuana card, and then you purchase your product from the medical dispensary. It's about $168. I think I spent the other day to renew my medical marijuana card or prescription, just to get a prescription. It's like $100 and something, and it's basically It's a cash grab. That's all it is. It's a way for the government to make money, and it's a way for them to regulate it, which is not a bad thing. Government regulation and products like these is a good thing. You don't want to necessarily buy your marijuana from another source than a dispensary because you never know what they're going to do with it. You don't know if they're going to cut it. You don't know how good it is for you. So my recommendation, until you're able to grow it legally, is to purchase it from the medical marijuana dispensary. Use it for medicinal purposes, pain management. There's several things that medical marijuana is good for. It's very easy for you to get your prescription. And when the government smartens up and makes it so we can grow it ourselves, as opposed to, being reliant on them to check the quality and what goes into your medication. If you're growing it yourself, you basically know what's going into it. It's totally natural. Purchase different seeds from different places. There's definitely, a market for the seeds. There's markets for, plants. If you want to buy a plant in the store or somewhere, again, if they go recreational, which marijuana is no more of a drug than alcohol. And I've used alcohol to self-medicate. Alcohol isn't the best way to self-medicate. Destroys your liver. I'm sure the marijuana is destroying my lungs. But it is what it is. I'm dealing with, a choice, basically. Do I smoke or drink marijuana? Do I smoke or eat marijuana edibles? Or do I vape it? What's the best way to get into my system? What's the least expensive way that I can find to get it into my system so I can get past the pain? Basically, by looking at me, you can tell I'm in a ton of pain. I really am. And if you can't, just take my word for it. The pain is horrendous. They want you to have a pain level of 7. Everybody's pain tolerance is different. They want you to have a pain level of 7 before they'll medicate you. They just want you to be sure that that's what you're medicating for, is the pain, not to get the high. And sometimes when you're on oxycodone, it's tough to tell the difference. It's very difficult to tell the difference if you're addicted to the oxycodone and you're going through withdrawals, or if the pain is... sorry again. I'm trying to keep myself awake. I don't know how you guys are doing to keep staying awake for the blog. And the yawn makes everybody yawn. So if you're listening to this or watching this, I'm making everybody yawn. I'm dragging everybody down because my voice is baritone. They're just speaking one tone. But that's what happened to me the week before last. I was making some good strides, able to sit up in my bed by myself. And this week I'm in a low. So there's lots of highs and lows as far as emotions are concerned. When you're doing well, when you're able to do something that you weren't able to do before, it's a euphoric high. It's you're getting better. You're getting better. I want to get better. That's my goal. I want to use all the tools to get better. Last week I was really depressed. I was down. It's hard to get yourself back up from being in that down spot. That's why I like to watch people on YouTube if I'm doing exercise that are really hype, really high volume, like exciting. One guy that I've been talking about a lot, Paul Eugene. I found out he's not a handicapped individual, but he's trying to help us. And he's got a couple really good videos. A paraplegic workout, he doesn't get out of the chair at all. So at first, if you're watching him, he looks and seems like a paraplegic person. And, we do have to move. We have to move our bodies. We have to sit up. We have to act like normal people. Getting past that pain is our issue. So staying limber, having the ability to move is better than not having an ability to move. Okay? If I can move myself, that's what I'm going to want to do. So, and I want to keep that ability as long as I can, keep that precious. Because the day that came that I couldn't move my legs anymore, that was a devastating day. A lot of emotions go through your head that day. Even like crazy thoughts. But you know what? We're all here for a purpose. God has his intentions for me, and if the day comes that I no longer want to be here because of the pain, then that's I'm gonna have to deal with that the day it comes. Today's not that day. I'm gonna fight that pain and try and be a normal person. Not easy to be normal when you can't walk or everything you do hurts you. It's one of the hardest things in the world. Pain is a mighty motivator. It's condition and response. You're always going to go away from the pain. One of my favorite movies I watched with Marlene was what was it? $1 Million Baby with Clint Eastwood, and that was a good movie. You watch that movie, and you'll try to understand the depth of would I want to leave somebody in a vegetative state? I don't want to ruin the movie for you. That would be wrong. But accidents happen in life, and stuff happens, and it's just part of our lives. We're only here for a small amount of time. If you look in our lifespan, in the grand scheme of things, we're just a little speck. When things started, how things began. If you believe, whether it's creation or evolution, it doesn't matter. You're only a speck in the grand scheme of life. And people ask me what my belief is, and I might have told you before, but when you come on this planet, it's your job to make this place a better place, not to make it a miserable place for people, a better place for people. You shouldn't try and take advantage of people. You shouldn't. You should always, if you have a piece of bread, you should give somebody that doesn't have a piece of bread a piece of bread, because one day, and there's there, but forth the grace of God go I. That basically means to me, if I could easily be in the situation of that other person that doesn't have that piece of bread, and that person should be thankful that they're getting that piece of bread. And that person should turn around, and if they're ever given the opportunity, should give that piece, another piece of bread to another person. Because that's how you take care of your brother and your sister. And you might not be my blood brother and sister. But you know what? We're all brothers and sisters. We're all the same like. Whether we're black or white or whatever color we are, it doesn't matter. We're all alike. We all have feelings. We all have emotions. We all feel hate. We all feel love. And, you know, if love beats out hate or bias or bigotry, is that a bad thing? No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Love should always beat them out. No matter what. No matter what. So, I mean, I was thinking about making a 40-minute blog this week. I hope my message was inspirational in some way. You know, another part of my beliefs are, you know, if you do somebody wrong, they're going to curse you forever. Throughout life and throughout death. And it's going to be a miserable death because people aren't thinking you in a good light. You know, you're tortured by the way they think or feel about you. But if you've helped everybody out, nobody's going to feel that way about you. Nobody's ever going to feel that way about you. You know, because you help people through your life. I've always helped people throughout my life. It's been my creed. People might not believe it, but yeah, I mean, I was the kind of guy that would stop the people on the side of the road, take a chance and make sure their tires got changed. Because, you know what? It could be me out there with the flat tire. You know, run out of gas, same thing. I'll give you $10 for gas. You're out of gas, I'll help you go get it. You know? Shouldn't be stuck on the side of the highway somewhere. You know, people worry about where you are or whatever. You know, it's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah, people should help you. And, you know, when you're in trouble, they'll be there for you, hopefully. That's how it should be. Well, I'm running on my 20-minute vlog, which is, you know, this week. And I'm hoping that, you know, you're all blessed. This is going to be Thanksgiving week. I hope you're with people that love you and care about you. And you haven't done anything to any one of your family members to isolate yourself from them, because there's nothing like family, my friend. They're always going to be there for you. Your brother's always going to be there for you. They're your first line of defense. I've always been a person that's had strong family beliefs, strong family values, and, you know, it's just sometimes life deals you a bad hand. You know, I've always been poor, but, you know, I'm been happily poor. Up until now, I mean, it's tough to be happily poor and sore, but, you know, may your God bless you. And, you know, try and do something kind to people, you know, this week, because this is a week of Thanksgiving. And there are people out there that don't have. And they're struggling to get by. Because if I'm struggling, there's definitely people out there struggling worse than me. You know? And again, there but for the grace of God go I. Do your best to try and take care of your fellow man. You know, I see all the bad things happening in this world, but we have to look at the good too. You know? This is a time where families get together. and a time for healing. Well, your God bless you. Mine will bless me and my family. And you have a wonderful Thanksgiving week. And keep your sticks on the ice. Love ya. Mike out.